Hey everybody, Bama Cooey here, and today next to me I have a Shelby F150 Supersnake. This is one of the fastest trucks you can buy on the market with 775 horsepower. So let's drive it, let's look at it, let's see what makes it tick, and let's give it the business. Come on, let's go. All right everybody, as you can hear, I'm listening to Hair Nation. Why not? So we are in the 775 horsepower Supersnake quad cab. So we're about to give it a drive, give it the business, and see how she performs. I'm not going to do a draggy on it because it's not fully broken in. It's got too few miles, and I don't want to do anything like that. But we're going to go down our normal routes, see how she sounds, how she drives, how she takes the road, and go from there. All right, let's go. I can go ahead and tell you this supercharger sounds amazing. I have it in sport mode right now. I'm going to go ahead and put it in normal, and we'll put it back in sport mode a little later. I'm not going to mess with the eco mode. That's just not what I do. You got a 775 horsepower truck, who gives a damn about eco mode? They should just take that out and make it a sport and sport plus, as far as I'm concerned. I am excited to be reviewing this truck because I've done the off-road version that sets up high on the 35s. And, you know, I can already tell it takes the bumps better than this one, with this one being lowered. But this is meant for speed. And don't get me wrong, the off-road version is not slow. It's still got the same engine and the same supercharger. Yeah, I mean, the V8 and the supercharger whine just sounds good. I don't care what anybody says. That's the one. I love the way the Raptor R sounds, but I do wish you got a little bit more supercharger whine with it. So price for this vehicle is about $133,000. It's basically about 60 grand more than the Lariat package you get for this particular truck. Yes, it's expensive, but people buy them, and people like to have fun with them. So it's actually built by Tuscany. You know, they license out to Shelby. Shelby Motor Company does not touch these trucks. It goes to Tuscany up in Indiana. And so, you know, but they've licensed through Shelby, and they get Shelby's approval to do all of their stuff. So, yeah, instantly obviously it doesn't sit near, so I feel like I'm driving a car, especially compared to my Raptor. But let's go ahead and get some gas here. Ooh, that sounds good. I might have had the pedal a third of the way then, and you just saw the speedometer just keep ticking up. That supercharger sounds great. The exhaust sounds great, which y'all will hear in the video as well. But man, this is I'm trying to decide, and I might have to wait till the end of the video, but I'm trying to decide if I'd rather have the off-road version or the street version. We're going to be able to get a really good pull up here on the highway, and what I do like about this, even though you do feel the road a little bit more, which I don't mind, and I like the tightness, is the fact that it handles tighter. It seems to take curves a lot better, and so even though you hear the road a little bit more, you can tell it's geared more for driving at a good amount of speed. Tires are quiet, which, I mean, they're street tires from Toyo. I would expect them to be quiet. They're not the all-terrains that come on the off-road version. Going fast and fun is definitely this truck. I'm just trying to decide if I prefer the looks of this or the off-road package. Supersnake. I do like the way it sits though. These seats are comfortable as hell. And of course, it's got all the technology that a normal Lariat would. I mean, now, for the 24s, obviously, I think you're going to have some different things. I think you're going to have the headlights are going to change. You're going to be able to put in, which the Lariat will have it, a windshield display. Heads-up display will be available, which Ford's, that's the one thing Ford's fell behind. Whoa, she goes. I could probably get a 3.5 to a 3.6 in this in the 60. I wasn't full throttle then, but I hope y'all are able to pick up the speed on the camera in the different angles. But I wasn't full throttle. But, you know, Ford finally putting the heads-up display is much needed, because obviously the TRX had it in it, and you know, the Raptors didn't, but they will in the 24. The trimmers are changing the front. You get the modular bumper. So this will, you know, I'm sure will adapt to get the headlights that the Lariats will have. You'll get the heads-up display. I do love driving these vehicles that I review for y'all. It's just fun. It lets me compare different ones, how they ride. But like all F-150s, even though this is lowered and the suspension is tighter, but it does have the Fox shocks. It does soak up stuff pretty well. And it's comfortable. You can take this on a road trip. Easy. Little bit of road noise being lowered, but like I said, it's not much, and you got the B&O sound system in here, so we're gonna try to go down our trusty road here in Tijuana and see. I'm not going to do a draggy pull, but I want to do a good acceleration. See what we. Seems to be a lot of traffic today. A lot of people off work. I've noticed too that as they tuned this with the supercharger, it's not skipping gears. I can see the gears in the bottom, 1 through 10, and I'm watching it, and it's hitting all the ones. It's hitting all the gears. It's not skipping at all. And you know, that's a problem sometimes with some of these F-150s when they come from factory, is if they're not tuned, they tend to skip gears. Like it'll go from like 2 to 4 or 5 to 7, just things like that. But once you get them tuned and tuned right, they won't skip. Okay, I'm not going to do a draggy. I'm not going to do full throttle, but I want to get a good sense of what the torque, how much this pushes me back. All right, we're in sport. No, we're not. So I'm in normal. I thought I was in sport earlier when I was giving it the gas and getting on the highway and it was taking off. I thought I heard the wheels kind of kick a little. It's because I was in too high. So sport will let us go into 4 autos. So, all right, let's see what she's got. That was pretty fun. Not gonna lie. I hope y'all heard the supercharger. heard the engine, saw the torque. I thought that was a cop for a minute, so let's see if we can't go ahead and get another dig. Man, she's fast. Other than the Rivian, which is what it is at 800 horses, but it's heavier, a lot heavier than this. And this is the fastest truck I've ever been in. I was up to 90 like that. Right now I'm averaging 2.8 miles a gallon, which I'm sure is a little skewed because this is new, right? So it's not broken in. I think these actually do, for what they are with the V8 and with the supercharger, I think they actually do get decent gas mileage. Unless you're like me and you're giving it the business all the time. Oh man, that was funny. So we did some pulls in normal coming north on the highway. Then we did some pulls on the back road and just now in sport. And there's definitely a difference. The gear shift's different, the RPMs crank up. Normal's still fast as hell though, don't get me wrong. But I didn't hear the tires chirp when I was on the side road and went from a dead stop either. Kind of heard them chirp a little bit when we were coming on the highway. Special thanks to my friends at Woody Anderson. If you're interested in this truck, I'll put a link to it. I'll also put a link to their website. You can call Phil Henderson or Ron Black. They're both great guys. They are always nice to me. They've taken care of me, and they'll take care of you too. I know they even have two Raptors on the lot now. they're the EcoBoost V6s on 35s, but they have them. And they even have some Bronco Raptors on the lot. I saw a red one, a silver one, and a black one. So if you're interested in a Bronco Raptor, a regular Raptor, or if you're interested in this Supersnake, please give them a call. All right, everybody, I'm heading back to the dealership and we're going to wrap this up. See y'all in a minute. The first thing you notice about this Supersnake is how aggressive it looks. They completely replaced the grille. You put Shelby here. You got the racing stripes going all the way to the back in black. This is the iconic silver color. Coming down here, this is all replaced. You put a splitter down here. The headlamps are pretty much the same. This is a Lariat trim, quad cab 4x4, and Shelby just went in and definitely did some tweaking to it. Of course, here the grille is a lot larger to suck in that fresh air. You also have fresh air coming in here to feed this 5.0 liter V8 supercharged to 775 horsepower and over 600 pound-feet of torque. And of course, here you've got functional heat extractors up here at the top. Come over to the side, here's your fixed fog lights. Like I said, your headlamps. They are, since it's the Lariat trim, they are the headlamps that will turn with you as you're turning, going down the street. Coming over here to the side, you still see the more aggressive. Of course, you got body color, little fender flares here, massive 22-inch gloss black wheels sitting on 305/40/22s Toyos. These are street tires with these massive black rims. Of course, you got the Shelby Snake here. You got the massive Shelby brake calipers there. Coming over here a little bit farther, you see Supersnake Shelby with a functional heat extractor here, letting all that hot air come out. Of course, you know, the rest of it's a Lariat trim. You got your push button locks. And of course, down here, going downside, you got Shelby, and it goes all the way down to 775 horsepower down there. This is a sharp looking truck. I previously did a Shelby Supersnake Off-Road Edition, which was sitting on 35-inch tires, and lifted and drove it, and I thought it performed really well. I'm very curious to see how this performs on the street and how much quicker it is, given that it does have some street tires and it is sitting lower, so this definitely will be the quickest, and we'll see how it is. Coming down the side, you see you have the hard cover that comes over the bed of the truck. The racing stripes come all the way down to that. You got Shelby badged right here, and coming back around, you have your typical Lariat LED tail lamps. Coming back here to the back, of course, you see this. The racing stripes come all the way down. We have Shelby, we have Ford. Honestly, on the front and back, you got this blue Ford. You know me, I'm a stickler for making sure things match and things are uniform. This should be blacked out. This Ford I shouldn't see any blue right here. Coming on down, of course, and you have two massive Barella exhausts that was installed by Shelby, and this thing sounds amazing. Here's the key fob. It's a normal key fob. I think they should put Shelby or the Supersnake emblem on the back of this. That would be sharp. So you got your lock, your unlock, remote start, and your tailgate. Of course, there you see the hard shell raised up. Everything's carpeted inside. You see Shelby up front. You do have your clamps here. I definitely wouldn't want to get this too dirty, but you don't have to worry about your groceries getting wet either. Like I said, this is a Lariat trim, so I won't spend too much time. You know what the Lariat comes with, and like I said, I did the off-road version of this. Make no mistake, this is a street truck. It is a 4x4, but in my opinion, that's only to get enough traction so you can do 0 to 60 pulls, because you don't want to take this off-roading as low as this sits and with these Toyo tires. So inside, it's typical Lariat. Of course, you got your stitched leather material. It does have the upgraded B&O sound system. The key thing here with the Shelby is the upgraded seats. You got nice leather seats, stitched. You got red going across here, and they're just really comfortable and they really stand out. And the front ones are even better. But of course, this is the typical Lariat, and like all F-150s, it's got plenty of room. Of course, coming in here, you got your power mirrors, power windows, your memory seats, and of course, you got the same nice material, your B&O, and I'll get you more shots of the seats here, but they are heated and cooled. The nice stitched leather of the red, and it does have Shelby in red going across. It looks really sharp. Two of the biggest things with the interior is the amount of carbon fiber that Shelby uses. You got carbon fiber going all the way across. I would like to see the second glove box carbon fibered as well, even though it still looks nice. You got a Shelby badge here on the console, and you even got carbon fiber here on the steering wheel, which I think Ford needs to bring in for their higher trims, whether it's the Lariat, Platinum, and the Raptor and Raptor R. Let's start over here in the passenger seat. Of course, I mentioned these seats heated and cooled, and there you have Shelby right here. Stepping on inside, you do have the Supersnake floor mats coming up here. Of course, you got all this carbon fiber. This should be carbon fibered as well. I don't know why they didn't do it. And the rest of this is basically standard Lariat package. There you got the Mini. Of course, there you got the right there. Over here, you got the 12 volt and the AC 400 watt, 120 volt. And you see the carbon fiber trim just completely go around throughout. And then of course here you have your Shelby plaque on the soft leather with the red stitching. You even have carbon fiber cup holders back here. Coming over here, there you got your B&O sound system. Here's all your controls for your mirrors. There's your performance pedals. And of course there, I mean, all this is standard stuff, but like I said, there's your carbon fiber. There you got a chrome American flag right there. Here's your seats. Again, like I said, these are comfortable, heated and cooled, and I love the Shelby stitching. And of course you do have speakers in the headrest right here. Looking at the steering wheel, like I mentioned earlier, all the carbon fiber goes to here, all the way around up in here. Of course, you know, you got your standard stuff. You got your adaptive cruise control, your lane keep assist, your volume for your radio. Over here, you got your menu for the display. Of course, you got your radio channels where you can change, and you got your Bluetooth for your car. You got your Bluetooth for your phone where you can answer right there. Coming over here, you got your Pro Trailer Assist, start stop, push button for your rear locker. Also your drive change modes, you got 2 high, 4 high, 4 automatic, and 4 low. Come over here, you got this, and this will lay down, and of course this does come out like all the higher end F-150s. Got your cup holders. So this is standard. You got some USBs down there, massive storage space. Of course, here you got your wireless phone charger. Right here, you got more USBs. Like I said, you got heated and cool seats. This does not have a heated steering wheel, which is disappointing. Coming up here to your radio controls, there's your massive 12-inch display. Of course, coming up here to the top, you got your 360-degree camera, park assist, traction control, and then you got your B&O speakers up here. All right, everybody, let's crank her up. So this is the standard infotainment center. Does all the same things the other high-end F150s do. It's very responsive. You got your apps, your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto. There you go, your settings, whatever you want, vehicle, person profiles. Also, this does have a full-size moonroof. All right, let's go over the drive modes on this. It is a little bit different than what you would see in a Raptor. There's your normal, there's your tow haul, there's your eco, into 2 high. I do like the color changes on this. There's your sport. It automatically shifts into 4 auto when you go into sport. So you don't have to make that adjustment. If you wanted to, you could go into 4 high if you were doing a 0 to 60 pull. Coming back down, there's your slippery, showing some rain. There's your deep snow and sand, and there's your mud and ruts. And those are your drive modes for this Shelby Supersnake. You can also adjust all the different things you want to do here with the My View, and all your trip info, fuel economy, trip. There's your off-road, your power distribution, how it's going to each of the wheels, eco behavior, acceleration, deceleration, speed, which I would like to see them, if Shelby's going to do this, take away the eco portion and put in some performance things like the air temp going into the air intake, how much thrust you're getting, how much, maybe even like a horsepower and torque reading based on, you know, how much you're using when you give it the gas, things like that. Make it more performance oriented, because you're not buying a 775 horsepower truck lowered for gas mileage. So nobody's going to be in eco mode on this. That's just my take on it. Enough of the interior and everything else. This is what everybody is interested in and wants to see. A 5.0 liter V8 Coyote engine, typical 400 horsepower, what you get in a V8 F150. However, this does have the Whipple supercharger on it, 3-liter supercharger cranking out 775 horsepower and over 600 pound-feet of torque. This is the quad cab. The short cab can get 0 to 60 in 3.45. I figured the quad cabs, you're probably looking around 3.6. I know the short cab will go 0 to 100 in 8.3 seconds, so you're probably looking at 8.5, 8.6 here. And I have no doubts that you can get under 11 seconds in the quarter mile with this truck. This thing is a street racer with extra room, basically. And honestly, I would rather have the quad cab than the short cab, because typically the short cabs aren't always 4-wheel drive. At least this is 4-wheel drive. So you take the traction control off, you turn on the 4 high, you turn it in sport mode, and you give it the business and have some good times with it. But this is one awesome power plant, and it really makes this truck go. All right, everybody, what do you get with the Shelby package? You probably can't see this, so I'll have to read it all for you, but you do get the 22-inch black wheels, get the high-performance Toyo tires, lowered suspension. You do get the Fox shocks in this, so it's a great ride. Front-end alignment, tire sensors recalibration, red brake calipers, ground effects, painted the body color, replacement grille, all that stuff. And of course, on the inside, you get the numbered plaque, 2-tone leather covers, carbon fiber interior package. You do get the racing pedals. You do get the tinted windows, and you do get the warranty. Of course, you get the 775 horsepower supercharger, blower and intake manifold coated Ford Racing Blue. You get the performance air intake and high flow filter, the carbon fiber air intake tube, aluminum heat exchanger, high performance fuel injectors, so high performance spark plugs that are re-gapped to .082, get the upgraded high performance motor oil. You do get the programmer and, and tuned. You get the Barala performance exhaust, which I showed you earlier. You get the exhaust tips, dual intake ram air, hood style. Yeah, so I mean, you get the performance traction bars, the control arms, the sway bars, everything that makes this a fun street truck. And total MSRP for everything, $134,275. It's not cheap, but if you're an enthusiast and you like Shelby and you want to have fun and go fast, that's the price you got to pay. There you have it, everybody. The 2023 Shelby F150 Supersnake. This truck was fun to review, it's fun to drive. I did the off-road one, I've done the street one. Honestly, I still don't know which one I would take. Both are fast, this is quicker. One's built more for off-road, but they're both great trucks built by the people at Tuscany. Special shout out to my friends here at Woody Anderson Ford. Remember, I'll put a link to this truck in the description. Please call Ryan Black or Phil Henderson if you need a Ford vehicle or if you're interested in this truck. They'll help you out. All right, everybody, that's it. Remember, catch yourselves on the back roads of Tijuana like I did today, and you're driving a Supersnake, hell, any vehicle that's fun. Go ahead and give it the business and have a good time with it. We'll talk to y'all later.